Anthony Bourdain once said there's a guy in my head, and all he wants to do is lay in bed all day long, smoke pot, and watch old movies and cartoons. My life is a series of stratagems to avoid and outwit that guy. Who is that guy for you, and what do you do to avoid him? That guy's cousin lives in my head. I go to AA meetings to avoid and outwit him. Might get buried, but my dude in my head is literally Mr. Spock from Star Trek, and I don't avoid him. Hear me out. I discovered through therapy that I needed a mechanism for judgmentless and objective self-analysis, and Mr. Spock is that dude. He can see the most fucked up space shit ever and react calmly and objectively. Mr. Spock, the massive space blob, has a 97.454% chance of consuming the ship and everyone inside within 4/7 minutes. Projections show it will be slow and painful. Kirk, that's horrible. Spock, yes, it is not ideal for our continued survival, but its actions are entirely within the nature of the space blob. So, whenever I get spun up on something in my head, I imagine a mini Spock in my head with a science terminal that can pull all data about me. Spock, science report. Spock, data shows that Godspeed Metal is 5.8 days from quitting smoking tobacco and is under great mental distress from the change of chemical intake. He isn't consciously aware of it, but he's attempting to make up an excuse to get gas on a half tank in order to create an opportunity to buy a pack of cigarettes. Me, thank you, Spock. Sounds like I'm being dishonest with myself. I suck. Spock, I disagree. It's entirely within the nature of a nicotine addict to seek out a source of nicotine intake. This is neither good or bad. Just natural. Data also suggests that conscious awareness mitigates the chances of nicotine intake by 89.45%. You've yet to procure a nicotine source as well. Commendable. Just going through that mental exercise will help knock me out of a mental spoon-up state, help sort out emotions, feelings, all that stuff, into a paused, objective, and most importantly, non-judgmental way. All that guy wants to do is do Reddit and play video games. I don't do anything to avoid him. We came to an agreement and take turns occupying the same body. It's me from 5:30 AM to 5 PM on weekdays. And he gets evenings, weekends and holidays. I used to have a little sign on my desk that said the worst possible feeling is when the person you are meets the person you could have been. It was there to encourage to pursue my goals rather than procrastinate on games, Reddit, etc. I think it's time I dug that sign out again. Bold of you to assume I avoid him. I have chronic severe depression, going 25 years now. It's not completely clear what I have, but it comes and goes. Not sad, not bipolar, not MDD, we simply don't know, and medication doesn't work. However, it's never really gone. It's more like manageable or unmanageable. The voice is either telling me I should lie down and just give up, or it's telling me that soon I will be lying down and giving up again. My manageable moments are obviously filled with as much joy as I can pack in there, and every night, before going to bed, I tell the voice to suck it. Today was my day, not yours. When it's unmanageable and the voice tells me to give up, I try to fight him as long as I can, and when I start to agree with him, I always manage to end it with "but not today." It's kept me alive for this long. I hope I can keep going like this for a while. I have the same guy in my head. I quit smoking pot years ago, before I hit 30. I can still stay in bed all day on some days. What keeps me from doing it? Having a 24H lane on my laptop. Too often are commitments I've made to myself, friends, and employers. Back in the day, pot made it really easy to give up on those commitments. I miss pot, but I don't miss those times in general, which keeps me from going back. The guy who wants to go streaking during the Super Bowl halftime show. I avoid him by remembering that prison is not a pleasant place to be. That guy is my ADHD. I probably have an extreme case where my meds, which are at high doses, hardly even work anymore. The best way I combat this urge to do something fun, play games, or goof off is to remove myself from any place of temptation. Cut it off before you get the thought of even doing something pleasurable. What I do is that I find empty classrooms at my college and study, or do work in there. I will purposefully drive away from my home, which is full of games, food, fun, and comfort, to a classroom, just so I don't get the urge, and even if I do, I've created a barrier that takes too much guilt and effort of driving back and doing something fun. It used to be eat cheap pizza, chain smoke, and play video games. I changed a lot of those habits to healthier ones. The guy in my head not letting me lay in bed all day smoking pot and watching cartoons. That guy wants to settle for anything out of fear of nothing better coming later. That guy is okay with the dead-end job, the abusive relationships, and no master's degree. I tell that guy it's never gotten me anywhere, it's the definition of stuck, and I have no intention of being stuck anymore. I relate to this. The girl in my head is constantly trying to get out of doing things, everything like going to work, going to school, socializing, etc. Anything besides sitting at home in my chair, smoking a joint, and watching some coming of age drama / comedy. I have to force myself every day to do all the stuff that being an adult human requires of me. It's hard. I think almost everyone feels this way. I accept that she exists and love her back to health. I'll let her out and feed her once in a while, that way she lets me get on with my life. Don't you ever tame your demons ********** but always keep them on a leash. Arsonist's Lullaby. https://www.youtube.com/watch v equals vj3aj65fnxs. Hosier Reddit. Added link. The guy in my head wants to lay in my pillow top bed with soft sheets, my Buffy blanket, memory foam pillows, and sleep 18 hours a day, and hide from everyone. Punctuated by gorging myself on tequila food, getting raving drunk, and just watch endless history documentaries and plan travel trips for next year. If that's all I did, I would also probably take up smoking pot again too. That girl is depression. She's definitely starting to kick my ass now. All she wants to do is lay in bed, self-harm, and cry. I take my medications and persevere, but it's difficult. Holy shit, Anthony said that. Damn. I miss him even more. I just wanna grill for God's sake. Closes pornhub ***. I don't know what you're talking about. I figure that I may as well share about my guy. My guy hates me and what little bit of a life I've built for myself. The guy in me just wants to lay in bed all day, every single day, until I age out and die. Don't even get me started on the other thing the guy wants to do to me. And, yeah, it's pretty similar to Bourdain's in terms of its other cravings. To fight back, I try listening to music that fits my emotions at the moment. I try keeping my hands busy, and luckily I enjoy cooking. Deck building for Magic the Gathering can also help. I try to be creative and draw more. I try to exercise. I go out and tell jokes at open mics. I try to do everything that my guy doesn't want me to do. I want to be better than the guy that my guy wants me to be. He does have a grip on me most days, but I try my hardest to get out of it. I hate mornings. I don't like waking up. I don't like breakfast as a genre or activity. I don't see a good reason to be anywhere ever before 10 AM. I started forcing myself to wake up early and go to the gym before work. And I hate it so much, but it makes me feel so goddamn good all day long. It's a shitty healthy dose of morning endorphins that stops me from getting sleepy after lunch, keeps me energized after work, get a better night's sleep. It sucks so much, and it sucks even more that it improves every aspect of my day, because now if I stop I know I'll just start having shitty bad days again, and it'll be my dumbass lazy fault with a simple fix. That guy for me is someone who is constantly grumpy, never wants to get out of pajamas, and loves being drunk and high. To avoid said guy, I make a conscious effort to stay productive, motivate myself, and never drink alone. That guy wants to die. Unsure how to avoid him. Copious amounts of caffeine seems to do okay. Why try to outwit and avoid that guy? My goal in life is to find a way to sustain the lifestyle that guy suggests. The only reason I even do any of that other ambitious stuff is so that I can do all the nothing I want. Bill Watterson wasn't exactly saying what Bourdain's head guy was, but he had a good middle ground philosophy. https://zinpencils.com/comic/128 Bill Watterson, a cartoonist's advice / between complete slacker and crazy Steve Jobs as a CEO mentality. RuPaul call her the inner saboteur. It sounds cliché, but it's so true. And that guy never really goes away. You just have to learn to stay one step ahead. That guy is me. The one that wants to do something drastic to qualify for social security disability and then, jobless, lounge around all day drinking beer, watching whatever, and roaming around GTA 5 as I eat the government cheese. He's the voice that tells me to stop what I'm doing and end it all. To avoid him, I just ignore what he says. At the moment he's wrong. He just wants to win the lottery and sit on his couch watching dark comedies, drinking until it kills him. I avoid this by remembering that my mother would be very sad if that happened, and that I want to love someone, like really be in love, at least one more time before I go.